Okay, well, I'm going to tell you the story, one of the many stories I have about the paranormal experience. This happened um, quite a few years ago, probably about 95, I guess. No? 94. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, I was going to bed at home and I laid down, and my wife was already asleep next to me. And I was just getting into that going to sleep. I was just going to sleep, or so, I believed. And I felt something enter the room. I couldn't see anything, but I just knew it was there. It was massive and very dark. It climbed on top of me and was holding me down. The whole time at this point I'm thinking, okay, I'm dreaming. I'm still dreaming. My mother-in-law was in the living room at the time and she was watching TV. I heard the TV going on. I could see the room. It was dim in the room and I'm thinking, okay, just wake up, wake yourself up, it's going to be okay. And I tried to move, and the only thing that I could really move was my left hand. So I'm thinking, okay, so I kind of reach over and I grab my wife on her right hip, and I kind of shake her, trying to wake her up. And the whole time I'm still thinking this is a dream. When I hear this voice, very ominous voice, say, I'm going after her next. So now I'm starting to freak. Okay, I am just going, oh my god, this is not really happening. Okay, it's not happening. So I kind of, with my fist, I start hitting her on her hip. But she's not waking up. And I keep hitting her and hitting her and hitting her. And I'm getting more and more mad. Well, I finally fight, and the whole time I'm still thinking this is a dream. I'm dreaming this. And I finally fight, and I wake up, and I get up, and I go into the living room where my mother-in-law is, and I sit down on the couch, and I'm like, and she looks at me, she goes, what's going on in there? Are you guys fighting? And I looked at her, I said, you heard that? She goes, yeah, I heard it. She says, I heard some type of, scuffle or something in there. She says, I thought you and Misty were having a fight. I said, no, we weren't fighting or anything. I said, something was in there, and it was somewhat attacking me. I asked her, I said, well, why didn't you come in there to find out what it is? She said, well, I didn't want to get in the middle of it. So I finally go back in there and go back to bed. Well, the next morning, we wake up, and Misty asks me where this bruise came from. She had a huge bruise on her right hip. So, I don't know, but it scared me pretty bad, and I told her the story, and freaked her out a bit. We had never really had very good feelings while in that house. This is the last house we lived in. Every time she would go to the kitchen, she would feel something staring at her. She said she never looked, because she was scared to see what it was. I can't say as I blame her after my experience, but my son also had an experience in that house, which I'll tell you all about later. It freaked us out pretty bad. We had to leave to go ahead and get out of the house that night. But that's not the only haunted place I've lived in, and I'll tell you more about them maybe later. Anyway, for what it's worth, there's my story, one of, and I look forward to your comments and replies. Thanks for watching.